Good evening, incredible Tjhokoers, and welcome to my very first official live. The other little ones I've done don't count, so this is the big one. Thank you so very much for tuning in, for hopping on, for jumping on, and for being here with me. I'm looking so forward to sharing a little bit of my creativity with you. Yesterday you saw that I shared an enamel stuliki. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So I had a lot of inspiration in my box that I received. So it's been going crazy in my head, absolutely crazy. So there is method to my madness. I've decided I'm going to be sharing Ombre blend with you, seeing as we've got the beautiful Tjhoko paint blending brushes and all of these gorgeous colors. So the problem that I was facing, I couldn't decide which colors to use. So you can see on this leg over here, I started with Wild, and then Creative Crystal, and then right at the bottom I incorporated a little bit of Davis, and then I blended the three together. And then another idea I had, because we've got the gorgeous decoupage design as well, so I'm just going to turn this around so that you can see why I couldn't choose and why it was so difficult to choose, because the colors are so beautiful. So on this side over here, I used Eamon's Aubergine, I used Lovely Lorinda, and then also a bit of David's. So I'm just going to share a little tip with you. So the whole thing when it comes to ombre blending is to try to make it as seamless as possible. So which means you don't see definitive lines when you blend your colors. So I'm going to go through that with you. This leg is still in its original state. I haven't done that. And as luck would have it, Murphy's Law, the weather has been dreadful today. It is cold and it is wet. So this one over here has not quite dried yet, and I don't have, unfortunately, a hairdryer for obvious reasons. Okay, I have short hair, so I don't have a hairdryer to speed up the process, but it's fine. We just go with the flow and we roll with the punches. So over here on this side, so this is what I've decided to go with. I've decided that I love the Wild, the Creative Crystal, and then of course the David.
Oh, that's connected. Okay.
I'm so sorry if there's any glitches or technical difficulties, if everyone can just bear with us. I decided to go with Wild, Creative Crystal, and then I incorporate David's. David is something that I always have. So you can see it's still a little bit wet. So we're going to let that just sit tight for a moment, and then we're going to work on the top. I would like to thank my heart, my partner in crime. He is the one that is filming for us. So if you have any questions, they should come up on his side. And if he's comfortable enough, he can read questions or comments out and I can answer. If he isn't, it's fine. As soon as the live is finished, I will get to everybody and answer all of those questions. So this is the top of the stuliki. So initially I was going to sand it down completely. And then I was going to paint, and then I was going to do something else. But I quite liked this effect. So I'm going to try something completely different as well. I I'm going to do the decoupage. Usually when I do decoupage, I prefer to paint with a solid lighter color underneath the decoupage. But I think, fingers crossed, hopefully I can pull it together, the idea that's in my head. This will give it a nice rustic, almost like a distressed underneath the decoupage look and feel. I hope that that makes sense. So what I decided to do, you saw I had an entire decoupage sheet. So there were many choices that I could have done. I could have done an entire decoupage on the top, but I decided not to. So what I've done is I've actually cut out certain sections of the decoupage. So what we are going to do is we are going to decoupage this straight onto here, and then I'm going to have little bits of the leaves coming down over the sides of the stilicky leaves. So I think that's going to look quite pretty. So I think we just play around with layout. You can do whatever works for you. You do you, boo. We're all different. So whatever you think would work better for yourself, I'm just sort of going along with everything here. So we're going to put that over there. I cut out another little section as well. And I thought I'm going to put her maybe over here somewhere. We can play around and we can see where she is going to go. Maybe over here. And then I also cut out just a few other little leaves. So maybe we can put some leaves over here. These ones can also wrap over on that side. And we can maybe put another little leafy over there somewhere. So this is the plan. Okay, we're good.
Okay, connected.
I'm so sorry, everyone. This is the thing with going live. You never know what can happen. So I hope that we've connected again. I apologize for lags and everything like that. One can never fully prepare for a live. This is the thing. So we just go with it. Okay, so when I do my decoupage, I like using artist brushes. They've got nice little soft bristles, and I have an entire selection of them, different sizes for different projects. Okay, I have my Tjhoko clear glaze. Okay, I'm going to sort of use undiluted clear glaze for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these little ones away for now. I'm just going to set them on the side. And then we're going to focus on the big one. I'm going to open up my clear glaze. I'm just going to take my little paper off. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to set this aside over there. Okay, I'm just going to put my little glaze jar over here. This is a little microfiber lappy. I always have my little lappy handy. Okay, sorry if I'm on my tippy toes. The dining room would have actually been better, but unfortunately the light is even worse over there. So I pulled out all the stops for you guys. I even put in a camping light just to make your lives a little bit easier, and mine too. My life as well. Okay, here we go, undiluted, and we just brush it on. That's all we do. Okay, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let me just do this quickly, just for a second. I'm just going to lift it up. It's as easy as that. That's what's so wonderful about this, is it's non-tear. I'm going to show you how to get those little side edges down now. Just come up here. We're going to work those edges flat now. So just apply it generously. There we go. I hope this process is making sense to everybody. Here we go. Babs, do we have anybody that's jumped on? Anybody saying hello?
Lots of people, my sweetheart.
Lots of people. Who says hello?
Soror Ramaphosa.
I highly doubt that the president is here saying hello. Wouldn't that be something? Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to show you another little trick that I have up my sleeve. Okay, don't worry about those, we will get to that. Okay, we have enough glaze on over there. Let me just put that down so that it's not in my mouth. Glad wrap. I just wipe over and I smooth it down with glad wrap.
Alta Pretoria says hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it.
Thought you reconnected. Okay.
Reconnecting.
Brushed up says looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much, Brushed Up. Sending you loads and loads of love and a huge hug. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to start with this one over here. Okay, just hold it in place and you're going to do the exact same thing over there. The whole thing about projects like this is just going with the flow. And it's perfectly normal for us to change our minds.
Marion van Wyk Duffy asked where you can get the decoupage.
Oh, this is part of Tjhoko Paint's decoupage range, Marion. I hope that you are doing absolutely fabulous today. Please can you pop on to the main Tjhoko Facebook page, have a look at my unboxing video yesterday, and then you can see a better picture of the decoupage in its sheets. So it's available directly online from Tjhoko Paints, or you can check in with your local Tjhoko Paint stockist. If your local stockist doesn't have it for you, you are welcome to ask them to order in, and I'm sure that they will do that with pleasure. Otherwise, directly online from Tjhoko Paint. Okay, that one is on.
Susan Grobler says she loves your idea.
Ag baie dankie. Ek waardeer uit my hart uit. Okay. Now I think I'm going to put these leaves over here like that. Yeah. I like it a lot. Okay, so that little one is over there. Let's pop this one in. I think over here. just for a little bit of color. Oh, and also, I just want to say, I have kept the rest of my offcuts. I said yesterday we don't waste. So this we can use for future projects as well. So let's just do that. Let's pop this down. I'm just going to take my cling wrap and I'm just going to gently smooth that over these ones that I've done over here. Okay, Bob, so we're still doing okay with signal and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to turn this little stuliki around. You can use your microfiber cloth just to dab any excess glaze that's away. Okay, I'm just going to turn it around just so that I can see these areas nicely. Just give me a second, please. Okay, and then where I see the one little leafy that's a little bit longer, it's not a problem. You can just use your little craft knife or something just to take it off. I'm going to flip it back around again just now, and then you can see what I mean and what I'm talking about. Sorry, there we go. And then this little one needs to come down here. Difficult. There we go. I got it. Okay, let's have a look over here. Is the signal still fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's back.
And I tell you, we are all familiar with Murphy. Murphy, he doesn't even knock anymore. He just rocks up. And then at the same time, he brings all of his friends as well. So sometimes everything can just be a little bit chaotic, but it's not a problem. We work around everything. Okay, I just want to hold this one in place just for a second. Go, just so that I can get it flat, and this one too. Okay. It's okay. If I can't, it'll settle. As the glaze dries a little bit, it'll do its thing, and then I can just focus on the other little areas. So you get the basic idea of what I am doing over here with the decoupage. The other sections that's come up, I can always just use a little bit of a sandpaper and just take those off. I'm just going to spin this back around again, and then you can see my idea about having the little blaartjies coming over onto the sides. That one is fine. That one I can sort out at a later stage. Okay, so moving on to the next step.
Madeleine Bam says hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to put my glad wrap just aside for a second now. I'm not going to need it at this moment in time. My brush can chill there. Okay, so now the beautiful, beautiful Tjhoko paint stencil. So this works incredibly well with this particular design. So I was thinking I'm just going to use certain sections of the stencil. I'm going to perhaps pop one over here, and then I might use some of the leaves. In my mind's eye, these leaves seem to work best were those, so I quite like those. And then I also might use a couple of these little ones here on the sides of the stuliki. So let's just see how it goes.
Madeleine says I must say her name in Afrikaans.
Ja, Madeleine.
Madeleine.
Hallo Madeleine. ons verstaan en ons probeer. Sometimes it's Afro-Engels, but as long as we all get the gist of it, that's the most important thing. So I'm going to put this over here. I just need to put my eyes on for a second. Because I'm going to use just this section of this stencil over here. Okay, let's have a look-see. So I thought, lovely Lorinda. So just a tip and a trick when doing your stencil work, a very little goes a long way. Okay, so this is my beautiful brand new stencil brush, part of Tjhoko Paint's new brush range. It is absolutely beautiful, baby soft. Okay, so I'm literally just gonna do that. Just the tip in the little lid over here. Okay, and then I'm gonna dab off excess. Because the drier, the better. If your brush is too wet, it's going to bleed underneath your stencil and it's going to smudge. Okay, somebody that I love with all of my heart and soul, I hope that she is watching, Nadine, our Mama Tjhoko. I know she used to do this, and this is how I learned how to stencil. So it doesn't look very nice, but it's a very effective way to do it. Nadine, love you to bits and pieces. Okay, so you can use tape to secure your stencil with. I'm not going to. I do have some painter's tape. I'm not going to use it at this moment in time. Oh, painter's tape also available from Tjhoko Paint now. Painter's tape, matten cloth, microfiber cloth, sanding blocks. Oh, we are honestly so spoiled. So spoiled. So absolutely everything that you need and more is available from Tjhoko Paint. So I'm going to start over here. Oh, thank you, buds. Okay. Okay, I'm only going to use a section of my stencil. So I'm going to try just to focus on this little flower over here. I need some more. If it's too light, we can lift it very carefully just in a section, and then we can have a look, see what we are dealing with. Okay, when I do my stencil work, I always prefer to go in round circular motions. Round circular motions. I don't dab. I feel that when you dab, the effect is not as nice, and also you damage your bristles on your stencil brush. So, circular motions, around you go, just a little bit more. Hold it in place. I'm on my tippy toes. Okay, we're going to lift it just now, and we're going to have a look, see what it looks like. Just a section, not the entire stencil, because I don't want to have to lift it and then it loses its spot and then I'm all off center again. Just a little bit more. It's so different doing stencil work when these people watching. So my mind works completely differently, so I hope that it makes sense and that everybody can sort of keep up with me and with what I am doing and saying. Okay, so this is just a single application, very thin, very little paint used. Another tip, you can also use the plastic that your stencil comes in, and you can dab on the plastic if you like. The plastic tends to keep the excess paints wet for longer, so that's also something else that you can try, seeing as we're busy with little tips and tricks. Okay, so I'm going to hold this in place because I don't want to remove my entire stencil. I just want to have a sneak peek. So, sneak peek, how's it looking? Jason winks. Okay, so it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. So I'm going to take that off for now, and I think let me just use, I'm going to close my lovely Lorinda. Additional tips and tricks for taking care of your Tjhoko paint, storing, all the rest of it. If you need them, you can shout. I have compiled a little list, so I can share that with love. Okay, these wipes they're amazing. They are absolutely amazing, perfect for cleaning, for touching up, for tidying up. Okay, these stencils are also absolutely beautiful. So I just want to make sure that I don't have anything here underneath that could go anywhere else. See, there we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to try and use a smaller leaf design. You know what I'm going to do? Okay, let me close that. I'm going to flip the stoliki over a little bit onto its side. That might work a little bit better. Okay, and I'm going to just try and use, just while I'm at it, just little bits of this. I think this is the idea, to do a bit of a leaf over there and a leaf over there. Thank you, Babs. Can everybody see nicely? Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of my Creative Crystal. Okay, I'm just going to use this brush again. Just a little. Okay, I'm just going to try and put a little leaf over here. Just a subtle little leafy. It doesn't matter if they don't all fit entirely or if the colors blend a little bit. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so the idea is to do a few of these little leaves all around on the side. I'll play around, and I think I might alternate with the different colors as well. And I might also add a little bit more of these leaves on the top at a later stage, but I can finish that off. Any extra things that I do, I will let you all know. I'll finish it off and I will share it with you. So it's a creative process. So you can add, or if you don't like it, you can take it away. This is another tip that I would like to share with you as well. If you do stencil work and you don't quite like what you see, as soon as you have done your stencil work, you can actually wipe it away. So I'm just going to show you. Well, it's still wet. Wipe it away and it's gone. The longer it sets and you leave it to dry, then of course then the more difficult it is to get off, but then you can paint over it again. So we will see about the leaves, where we're going to put the leaves and all the rest of it. Okay. I do have another trick up my sleeve for the top as well. So we're going to get to that. Let's just have a look, see how we are doing, so that we can do a little bit of blending while we are here. Okay, so this is where I have already painted in the 3 sections, starting with Wild, with Creative Crystal, and a little bit of David at the bottom. So in an ideal world, this would have been completely I painted, but it didn't dry properly. So if we have enough time as well, I will be able to show you how to do the other leg. But I think you get the picture and it makes sense. So you paint with Wild in one section, Creative Crystal in another section, and then David over here. So this is dry, and this is dry. For now, I'm just going to put the stencil aside. Okay, I'm going to put my stencil brush aside, just for the meantime. Okay, and then Tjhoko Paints also has beautiful blending brushes. They come, I mentioned yesterday, 50 millimeters. And then this is a little bubble one, a little Utsi bubble one. Isn't it absolutely adorable? They fit perfectly in your hand. So you can do larger projects, you can do smaller projects. I also have a whole lot of extra brushes as well. You don't have to have so many brushes. You can make do with what you have. For me, in this particular instance, it's just a little bit easier to have extra ones, and I'm going to show you why. So, when it comes to blending, okay, Eamon's aubergine, I'm going to set you over there. I need my Wild, I need my Creative Crystal, and I need my David for the meantime. Very important before you start is to thoroughly shake your jars. Just make sure that your lids are secured properly before you shake your jars, because I have been working with my paint all day. So I'm shaking, and I am shaking. Okay, so Wild. Okay, it's open. I'm just going to work out of my little lid for the moment in time. You don't need too much. Okay, I just want to make sure that my hands are clean before I touch the rest. This I'm going to repaint over this again as well. So I'm just going to go with this color scheme for the bottom, and then I'm going to use the pinks and the purples and the greens and that on the top. So there you can see the liners. So I'm going to paint literally just above that line. Just above that line, I am adding Wild. Okay, there we go. So that's on. Okay, I'm going to set that aside over here. I'm going to use my Creative Crystal. And there's a little bit of a space. You see, there's a space. There it's wet. Here it's dry. I'm going to put some Creative Crystal over here. I need to come all the way around. It's actually much easier if you are working on a flat surface. it's easier to blend and do your hoekies that way. But we have a stuliki. So we're going to use the stuliki and we're going to make it work to our advantage. Buzz, is there any questions or anything like that?
Not really. I'm watching your pretty face.
Thank you, Bubs. Okay. So, and now I'm going to start with my blending brush. So, I'm going to be honest with you. There isn't necessarily, in my opinion, a right way or a wrong way. We are all so different. I feel you need to find a way that you are most comfortable with and then go with that. Sometimes I blend this way and sometimes I even blend up and down. But I do it gently with like a sort of a flicky kind of emotion. So we're going to start. I'm going to bring this down. Okay, let's come like that. Okay, we have that. Sorry, I'm working at a very awkward angle here. Let's come up here a little bit more so I can bring some of that down here. There we go. Now we're starting to see. Let's come around here. So you can see the different colors sort of blending. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to use this as more or less my little border. I hope it's coming up okay on the camera and that you can see. Okay, you can also come like this. Up and down a little bit, light feathery, flowing very gently. Up and down now I'm going. Okay, I'm going to come around down this side. I'm going to do a little bit of a flicky over there. It's nice to have the colors so that they are wet, so that they can blend together. So what you can even do is you can add a little bit more of your wild over here. But I'm going to add it up here at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to add some more of my creative crystal, but I'm going to come down here and then I'm going to blend from here up. So this one I have already done a combination of just wild and creative crystal. Okay, here we go. See, it's like a little flicky motion. So I come round this way and you can do that. You can do that. You can do a little bit of that over there and then you can bring it down some more. And I'm going to slowly pull it down a little bit more. A little bit more. Once it dries and you feel that you need to make changes, you can go back and you can make changes again. It's really not a problem. It's not a train smash. Everything, I promise you, everything is fixable and doable with Tjhoko paints. You just blend a little bit over there. Okay, how's it looking on that side, Bubs?
Good.
Flick, 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 and then up and up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this aside for a while. Here I'm going to add a little bit more creative crystal at the bottom. Let's try to come all the way around. Okay, and then I want some Davids. Okay, let me just use a clean brush. Okay, you see while you blend how beautifully the colors flow into one another and create different shades. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of David down here at the bottom, just a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way up at the top. I'm just going to put some so that there is some David over there. Okay, so this brush I'm going to keep for here just for a second, and I'm going to use this little one over here, and we're going to start again. So I'm going to just feather this one up just a little bit more towards there, just a little bit more, up, up, up. Really, like I said, to me, there isn't a right way or a wrong way. Just allow yourself the time to play around and have fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to come down here a little bit more. Look how gorgeous the creative crystal is with the David. Okay, and a little bit up. A little bit up. Feather, 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 feather. Don't stress. We can come over with the other brush just now. Okay, I want to add a little bit more creative crystal. This side over here. I haven't done anything over here. Okay, I'm going to feather this up. Feather, 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 feather. Feather, feather, feather. Okay, I'm going to mix just a little bit of wild over here and a little bit more of creative crystal, and then I'm going to just bring them up like that. Does it make sense? I really, really hope that it's making sense. So just remember when you are working on your little stuliki legs that you just keep on turning it around. So that it's all done and it's even. Okay. I'm not sure if you can pick it up.
Yeah, it looks good.
Does it look good? Okay, I'm sorry, I can't really see from that side, but I hope that it does. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to come back to the top of this. So I had another plan in mind as well. I can picture this piece being in a farmhouse or even in a bathroom or something like that. So I just want to put my lids back on over here. Just give me a second, please. I'm just going to set these aside over there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use my Stencil of Paris embossing paste. Okay, I'm just gonna put my little brushies over there because I'm not done. I'm gonna carry on after I have finished with all of you beautiful people. Ta-da! So this is also a Tjhoko paint stencil. If you go onto the Tjhoko paint website, you will see that they are having not only a promotion that's running at the moment, so any four and you only pay for 3. So the cheapest of the 4 is free until the end of July. These are also part of the older stencil range, which is on clearance. So bargain, 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 bargain. I actually have so many of these. So because I thought that this could be lovely in a little bathroom, I'm going to use the Pears soap with Stencil of Paris, but I'm going to mix a little bit of Amand's Aubergine into my Stencil of Paris. Okay, I just need to sort of figure out, you see, obviously it doesn't fit this way, and I'm not going to get the entire stencil in. So what I'm going to do I am going to put the pears, I think, over here, and then I am going to do the soap, maybe just off center over there like that. I might decide to change my mind and put it over there, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to use for the complexion part. So for now, I'm just going to tape that off. I'm going to tape that area off because I'm not going to use that. There we go, so I don't have to risk getting any Stencil of Paris onto that area over there. So we just tape off that little section. There we go. The soap is fine for now. So we can just focus on the pears. Okay. So I think this is going to work. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape over there so that I can secure it for myself. And I can secure it over here. This is still wet here where I've glazed, but this, I don't want. There we go, that's better. That's better. Okay, let me just do this. It's okay if it goes over the soap part because I'm not going to do the soap part now. So I'm just going to put this over here. That's going to secure it over there for me. This I can do a little piece over there. Better to be safe than sorry. So I'm just going to I don't want it to.
I'll hold it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll hold it down for you.
Okay, are there any, no, I've got it, it's secure. Thank you, Bubs. Are there any questions or anything like that?
Not yet.
No questions.
I might have missed some.
You might have missed some questions. Yeah. Okay. As long as everybody is still with us, that's the most important thing. I'm using one of my little side plates, so don't freak out. For those of you who don't know, Tjhoko paint is water-based, it's eco-friendly, it's non-toxic. It is child, pet and food safe. So it's not a problem if you're using it on your kitchen dishes or anything like that. Okay, I have my scraper, so I'm going to scoop some out. I also I also just want to say, if you mix up too much Stencil of Paris embossing paste, please don't throw it away, okay? Because that's wasting. We don't waste. You can actually keep it in a separate airtight container. What I do is I have my empty Stencil of Paris jars. I wash them and I keep them. So if I have extras from a project, I just put it in there, I close the lid, and then I can use whatever is left. So we don't have to waste anything or throw anything away. When mixing paint in with your Stencil of Paris, a little bit, please. You don't want to add too much paint because you're going to make it runny. So we don't want to make it runny. Remember also, you are mixing with white. Okay, so obviously the color is going to change. It does, however, I'm just going to pour a little bit. Is this a good idea? Let me just shake my almonds aubergine quickly. Okay, Jason says I must just use my little brush. Okay, just a little first. That was good thinking. Thank you, Babs.
Just beautiful.
Okay, now we mix it. And we mix it in thoroughly. You can also, if you wanted to do some sort of a different kind of a blend with your Stencil of Paris, you don't have to mix it all the way through. If you wanted to have the little bits of the whites and the different colors coming through, you can do that as well. I myself would like to do it like this. Oh, I absolutely love this to bits and pieces. I'm just going to do that, come there. So mix it well. Mix it well. There we go. And I think we've got it. There's a little bit more there. Okay. What's that, Bubs?
Okay.
All right, good to go. Okay, so I can just hold it in place here. You just apply with your scraper. You can apply it generously. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to get a little bit more because I don't. You can also change direction. That's it. Stencil of Paris embossing paste, drying time, anywhere from 1 hour to 4 hours. If you live in the Cape, sorry for you, you're going to wait much longer for it to dry because of the cold and the wet weather. So just be patient with it. I prefer to allow it to dry naturally. So depending on the thickness of the application, that also plays a huge part in your drying time. I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. Oh, I nearly missed the P. I nearly missed the P. Okay, I think I've got it all. I hope I've got it all. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And now, let's see. Gently lift. Gently lift. Gently lift. So there we have the pears. So there's just a little section over there. Just a second. I'm just going to grab something?
Zal says you're a superstar.
Lizelle! Lizelle all the way from Australia. I love you, my friendly. Thank you so, so much. So I just use a toothpick. And I just tidy up just a little bit. Okay. Babs, just give me a second, my sweetheart. If you could just take a step back for me just for a little bit. And then I don't want to touch. No, that's the wet one. Okay. So, this is what we are looking at so far. And, okay, let's do a balancing act. I'm coming your side of the camera. I absolutely love it. The Stencil of Paris embossing paste is going to dry 2 shades darker. So I'm going to let the pears dry completely. Once it's dried completely, as much as I love you all, I'm not going to keep you with me until the Stencil of Paris is completely dried. I won't do that to you. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the soap. I'm also thinking I'm going to use some more of my beautiful, beautiful stencil because I have some more space. I am loving the subtle look and feel, but I think I can add maybe a little bit more, and I'm going to add some more leaves in Wild and Creative Crystal, and then of course on the edge, and then I'll finish up on the other leg. So that is what I am going to do. I would like to thank you so very, very much for being here for my first live. Tjhoko Pain, thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given me. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoyed it too. And who knows, maybe we can do another one or another 2 at some stage. From the bottom of my heart, from our home to your home, wherever you are watching, tons and tons of Tjhoko love, and thank you so much. Bye.